Greetings, my name is Ruth Agel. I'm the creator of Hazel Twig, and this here's my sewing room. It's been a long time since my last little video, but that's because I tend to, it was fake the whole time. I tend to hibernate during summer because I like winter best. And one of the things I like best about winter is making coats for my little once-loved dolls. This is Hazel Twig number 93. Her name is Marvel Ray, and today we're going to learn how to make her coat. I once received an old coat, and I thought, hey, I could make that. And so I did. As you can see, it's fully lined, and it's just as cute as can be, and it's very simple. So that's what we're going to make right now. What I like about this coat, it's just so simple. You see this line here and back here. So basically it's front, sleeve, back, sleeve, front. So keep that in mind. And keep this in mind. This is what the pattern piece will look like when you get finished. And your sleeve is going to look like this. So here is how you do it. You lay your doll down in the middle of a piece of paper, and you make a mark just over each shoulder. You make a mark out to the side. A mark right between their legs so you know where the center is. And I'm going to do it over here because that's where I normally do it. I'm just doing it over there so you can see. But anyway, so then I would make a line like that. I want my coat to go about like that. So I'm just going to pretend I did it over here because that's what I'm used to. Okay, so here's the mark. Here's to the armpit. And then here's to the side. You want to go kind of like that. Then, pretend this isn't here, but just this line and this line in the center. I hold it up to the light and I match these two together and I kind of line it up with this. Fold it, cut it, and then you have this. And the neck's going to be kind of scoopy like that. Okay? So then you cut that out. When you have it cut out, you'll have this. This is the front. This is the back. At that point, I hold it up to the doll and see if I think it's about right. And then I hold it to the back. Usually the back is always a little bit wider, so you can, when you put it on the fold of the fabric to cut it out, you could put it so it's hanging over a little bit. See, like that. And when you do the back, you need to cut this part up a little higher. But anyway, when you hold it on her, you just kind of eyeball it and say, hey, if I had the front piece on and the back piece on, there's about that much space between them. And so what you would do then for your sleeve piece, fresh piece of paper, is you would fold it, get a half piece of paper, fold it in half, lay the arm down, figuring about what that length was. You know, this is half that length because this piece of paper is folded. Do this angle, draw a line right there, and then draw a line straight down. And then you'd cut that out. This is kind of crude, right? Because I'm just doing an example. But here would be your sleeve. For me, it's easier to line a coat than not. And so, then you would cut out, put this on a fold to cut for the back, and you would cut this a little higher, and then you'd cut 2 sleeves, and you'd repeat that for the lining. if you wanted to have a pleat in the back of your coat like I did, you would put this piece a little further away from the fold of the fabric so that you have some and you can take a pleat and a gathering tuck in the back. But whatever you do for one side, you should do for the other. And this is what you end up with. Front, sleeve, back, sleeve, front. And the same thing for the lining. Now note that my lining has a little bit of the out of fabric. You can do that or you cannot. I like to do it, and the way that I do it is never forget each piece is an island. I would just, if this is my front pattern piece, kind of strip up like that. Each piece is an island. This would get done in the coat fabric. This would get done in the lining. And that is what you end up with for that. At this point, if you wanted to, this is where you would add your color. Magic time. Voila! It's magic! Okay, here's what I did. I sewed the collar. I sewed down the sides of the lining together. And then I sewed like this, you know, on this side for the sleeves. Same thing for the lining. And then I clipped everything. It is handy to clip your fabric on this side seam right here. It makes your coat hang nicer. Clip in the armpits and then press them open. Then you're going to turn your coat inside out. I just put a collar on this one. You have to turn these inside out. Here, let me reach in. Get a dull pair of scissors. Now you don't need to turn these sleeves inside out. You take the lining sleeve and put them inside the other sleeve. And look at how cute this coat is. Now you would do the finishing touches. I like to put one at the neck. And then, oh, by the way, to hem the sleeves, you put the outer layer in and the inner layer out. So they meet like this, and then I hand stitch that around. Conceivably, for the hem, when you're sewing around while you're inside, you could also sew this, leave an opening about this wide, and turn the whole thing inside out. And then all you'd have to do is stitch the opening closed, and then you wouldn't have to, you basically so here she is with her coat before the finishing touches are put on. As I said, I kind of like it to hang open. She doesn't have her dress yet, but she will. So that it hooks there, and look how cute it is from the back. What I like to do for mine when I hem them is I buy old seam binding whenever I can. I sew it along the bottom by machine, and then I hand stitch it. So there you have it. Thank you. You're my favorite. We'll try and do this more often. And is this a good angle for me?